Anandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvathitham Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavathitham Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Dam Namami. Welcome to all of the viewers who are joining us from all over the world today for this very special Karthigai Deepam celebrations and the conclusion of the Nithyanandeshwara Brahmotsavam, the finale of the Nithyanandeshwara Brahmotsavam, the celebrating the Karthigai Deepam, which is the day that Bhagavan Paramashiva manifested as Lingodbhava to liberate Brahma and Vishnu from their delusion. So today we will be celebrating the Bharani Deepam, and then in the evening we will be having the Karthigai Deepam celebrations.
And it gives me immense pleasure, along with Ma Purnapriya, to welcome each and every one of you joining us from around the world for this most auspicious day of Karthigai Deepam. What better way to celebrate this day than joining live and tuning live to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam's Kailasa'S channels. Today at 4 a.m. we will be having the Bharani Deepam, as Ma Purnapriya was just sharing, and at 6 p.m. in the evening we will be having the Karthigai Deepam. And it gives us immense pleasure on behalf of Kailasa to welcome each and every one of you for this auspicious grand finale of the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Brahmotsavam. And during this auspicious time, we are all waiting for this day when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blesses us all and becomes the light of our lives as we receive the darshan, grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This is Ma Jnanatma, and along with me is Ma Purnapriya, and both of us are going to take a moment to share with you about the significance of the day so that we can all experience the light inside us, the ultimate consciousness as a pure light inside us, manifesting the state, space, powers, the being, the superconsciousness, and Sri Kailasa of Paramashiva. So with that, we will now be entering into today's segment. And if you are watching us live, please go ahead and share this live stream with all your friends, family, Sangha members, because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to be joining us live very shortly for the Bharani Deepam at 4 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So let's understand the significance of the day and imbibe it in our lives so that we can get the maximum of today. Yes, we will now be sharing with you the context. So I request the interview operator to please move on to the next slide. We are going to be sharing with you today about the significance of Karthigai Deepam, celebrating with Kailasa. Yes, Ma Purnapriya, you can go ahead. We can just go to the previous slide now. Just wanted to share a little bit. So today we will be sharing with you about the significance of Karthigai Deepam and the introduction of how the Kailasa'S Annalaya, which is feeding millions around the world and has fed more than 1 billion free meals since the time it was inaugurated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, started on this very day. Today is also the day where the healing tower, where hundreds of thousands and millions of calls to people around the world to heal them physically, mentally, spiritually. We are going to be introducing you, for those of you who are tuning in now and tuning in new, we are going to be sharing with you, introducing to you about a person who can never be introduced, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and sharing with you the spiritual significance of Karthigai Deepam. So what is special? So many things are happening today, and today is extremely special in the history of Kailasa. And we are also going to be sharing with you about Kailasa's history of how we celebrate Karthigai Deepam. And here you can see, we don't know what to see in this picture because this is Bhagavan Paramashiva himself showing an arti to himself in the form of Arunachala. So here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism showing arti to the Arunachala hill, which is Paramashiva in the form of a hill. We can move on to the next slide. So Karthigai Deepam is being celebrated as a grand festival with different names in different regions of India. It's celebrated as in some places as Karthigai Deepam, Karthigai, Trikartika, Karthigai Vilakku, Karthigai, Karthigai Nakshatram, Bharani Deepam, Vishnu Deepam, and Karthigai Vilakkidu. These are the various names that many of us may be familiar with. Now, in the Vedic tradition, Karthigai Deepam is the day of light. In North India, it is celebrated as Dev Deepavali. And let us now understand how the Supreme Council of Hinduism introduces and the significance of today's event. And if you're watching us live, don't miss joining Kailasa for the live Karthigai Deepam celebrations. The Karthigai Deepam happened on the Kritika Nakshatra. Today is a Kritika Nakshatra of the Kritika month and Purnima Tithi, which means a full moon day in the Shukla Paksha. Celebrated on, and the 10-day festival actually starts at the end of the Skandasashti Brahmotsavam, and the 10th day we celebrate the Karthigai Deepam. It is one of the oldest celebrations in the Vedic tradition, and in North India it's called Dev Deepavali, as I just shared. It's a very powerful understanding of how the Supreme Council of Hinduism blesses and energizes the lamp, which is Paramashiva in the form of a lamp, and that lamp is multiplied into multiple lamps, and the entire monastery, the entire house, the entire place is lit with lamps in the morning at 4 a.m. Indian Standard Time. That's called the Bharani Deepam. Later in the evening at 6 p.m., all those lamps are collected and merged into one lamp. So it is one becoming many to celebrate itself, and many becoming one. That's the spiritual context, and we'll be sharing with you more about this as we go. And joining me also now we have Ma Purnapriya, who's back joining us, so we can explain to you the significance of this very special day.
Yes, so in the evening, as Ma Nyatma Swami said, all of the lamps will be merged into the main lamp, and this is a very, very powerful understanding. As Ma Nyatma Swami already said, it signifies one in the morning, one becoming many, and again in the evening, many merging back into one. And the Supreme Council of Hinduism has beautifully explained this concept through a powerful sutra from the Chandogya Upanishad.
Ekoham Bahushyamaha. So the very meaning of this, Eko Aham, I, who is one, Bahushyamaha, let me become many. That is the meaning of this verse. And in the next slide, we are going to be showing you, sharing with you a video clip which you can probably watch later when you have some time. It is called the creation of the 11 dimensions of the universe. We can move to the next slide. You can go ahead and take a look at this video where the Supreme Council of Hinduism has explained the meaning of this verse. However, in the interest of time, we are skipping this video. I request the interview operator to move on to the next slide. And you can definitely go ahead and watch it on YouTube. It's called How Mahasadashiva Manifested the 11 Dimensions of the Universe. That's the name of the video. And the Supreme Council explains about this verse from Chandogya Upanishad.
Yes. So let us look at a little bit of Kailasa'S history in celebrating the Karthigai Deepam celebrations. This is a very auspicious festival for Hindus all across the world, but especially in Kailasa. It has marked the beginning of many auspicious and beautiful contributions to humanity from the Supreme Council of Hinduism. For example, on the day of Karthigai Deepam in 2002, the Supreme Council of Hinduism inaugurated the Annalaya, the official beginning of the Annalaya for the entire of Kailasa. And in the words of the Supreme Council of Hinduism himself, I started cooking with my own hands and serving. From that day, I inaugurated the Nithyananda Annalaya on 19th of November 2002. Of course, 2001, Erode Ashram itself restarted, but I should say that the large-scale light feeding the public began on the 19th of November 2002.
So the Annalaya, which has now fed more than 1 billion free meals around the world, started on this very day. And here you can see the picture of the Supreme Council of Hinduism offering the food and inaugurating the auspicious Annalaya, which continued to serve billion meals around the world as of today. You can move on to the next slide.
And it still continues to serve. yes, you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself serving the people and the humble beginnings of this Analaya, which has now served, as Nyanatma Swami said, over 1 billion free sattvic organic meals to people all across the globe.
And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself serving the people. And it has been actually a tradition in many of the programs. Supreme Pontiff himself comes all the ways or to the Annalaya, to the kitchen, to serve the people. Even after Swamiji started his public life and having millions of followers, that's one thing Swamiji always ensures. In every program, at least one meal, Swamiji ensures that he comes and he personally serves to the participants. And I'm sure many of you watching this live would have been blessed to receive a serving directly by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism yourself. The next slide.
And on this very day, Paramashiva manifested and created 56 great nations and more than 170 smaller provinces, revealing the Vedas and the Agamas to the world, and making the whole Brahmanda endowed with the light, and creating Brahma and Vishnu, manifesting the entire universe.
Today is a very, very, very special and a significant day in the Vedic calendar. We can move to the next slide. Many things have happened in Kailasa and in the history of Kailasa. Today is the day when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism inaugurated the Healing Tower service training. So what really is Healing Tower? Here, if you see, consciously growing, that is the purpose. Every action, when we see it with awareness, and am I consciously growing? Every act you do, complete the loop and connect with it. It's a tremendous, powerful awareness program. And here, as a part of the Healing Tower, what do? The initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are making themselves available to offer healing prayer service to people just on the phone. If you need any kind of a physical healing, mental healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing, we have the initiated disciples who are available 24/7 around the globe. In what we call as a Healing Tower service, where we receive your calls and we pray for you, we chant the mantra for you, we do the healing for you just over the phone, completely free of cost. And this has helped people come out of great diseases, illnesses, family issues, relationship problems, even depression, suicide, so many problems people have walked out because they were able to make the right call to the Healing Tower at the right time in their lives, thanks to the service provided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And that service, the Healing Tower service, inaugurated on this very day. Can move on to the next slide. Can move on to the next slide. Here, as I was explaining, the very context of what is the Healing Tower service, being available to offer healing to people of those in need. Can move on to the next slide.
So, as we have shared, just a few of the happenings in Kailasa and the happenings on this auspicious day in history of Kailasa, let us now understand a little bit more about who the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is and how he has been continuously contributing to humanity over the last 27 years of relentless humanitarian services and contributions to humanity.
When you start introducing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, you always feel, how can you introduce Paramashiva? How can you introduce the one who has manifested this whole universe and continuing to manifest, multiverses and universes? But here is our humble effort to introduce the being who can never be introduced, because he has both the manifest and the unmanifest components. Today, we are introducing the manifest component of the being in the physical embodied form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity. Just wanted all of us to know we are so blessed to witness and experience the Karthigai Deepam with the incarnation of Paramashiva himself. How many beings in the planet Earth have this blessing? Not just in planet Earth, in any of the vertical time zones, physically, with the physical embodied form, we are celebrating the Karthigai Deepam. We are truly blessed.
Yes. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been recognized in many, many aspects in the spiritual world and across the globe by many leaders. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been declared as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, the Pontiff of the Kailasa'S Nithyananda Paramashivam. This is the oldest Hindu papal state and the very kingdom of Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving back to its original glory.
Can move on to the next slide. So we will be showing how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been is the successor of various ancient Sarvagna Pitas, the kingdoms of Hinduism, for which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is currently the emperor of. And Swamiji is reviving all these ancient kingdoms and the Hindu nations, the Hindu constitutions, and through the revival of Kailasa. And as taking the responsibility of reviving these ancient indigenous Hindu nations, Kailasa, Swamiji is ensuring that the political, spiritual, cultural, literary, economic legitimacy of Hinduism is being revived. And very sorry for the technical glitch. We'll be continuing with the sharing about introducing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And as we are connecting, for those of us who are joining us and watching us live, the Karthigai Deepam celebrations, and if you're watching this live stream, take a moment to click share below this video and share this with at least 5 of your friends, because today is an extremely significant day in the history of Hinduism. Today is an extremely significant day in the history of Kailasa, and we are going to be blessed with the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So many of us may not be aware. So please take a moment to just click the share button if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or any of our main official social media channels. Just take a click and share it, broadcast it with 5 of your friends. Because Swamiji has said, today, anybody who's in the space of enriching, you really want to share this tradition and knowledge with people, is really the way you prepare yourself to receive the experience. So as we are continuing with the introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, here we are taking a moment to give you an opportunity to share this live stream. Yes, Ma'am Purna Prema.
Yes. As Nyanaka Swami was just saying, it's a very significant day in the history of Hinduism and the history of Kailasa, but it is also a very, very auspicious day for anyone who is seeking, for anyone who is on the journey of seeking and who wants to experience the science of enlightenment, who wants to experience the lifestyle of enlightenment. This is a very auspicious day to receive the blessings of Paramashivoham himself, the incarnation, the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So do take some time, as Nyanaka Swami said, to share this with all of your family and friends. Yes, we
can move on to the next slide. Here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, here you can see as the successor of the Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham, and here you see the Guru Parampara, where you can see in the last picture is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at a tender age of 16, being initiated as the next successor in the lineage of Arunachala Sarvagna Peetham. Next slide.
And soon after, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Mission Di Nithyananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally at the mere age of 21 in 1999. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at the age of 21.
Next, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvagna Peetham at the age of 24. Here you can see Swamiji doing the Bhumi Puja to the Adinam, which is now a spiritual epicenter of the whole world at Biddi, Bengaluru.
And soon after, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagar Shripura Sarvagna Peetham at the age of 26 on the 1st of January 2004.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the incumbent emperor of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam of Surya Vamsa lineage. At the age of 26, the Supreme Pontiff was coronated as the next successor in the lineage.
And in 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism became the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvagna Peetham at the age of 29.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvajñapita at the age of 30.
And in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwara of the Mahanirvani Pada, the largest apex monastic order and the youngest Mahamandaleshwara at the age of 35. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being coronated and recognized by the other sadhus of the Akada.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam.
And in that same year, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tirvarur Adinam and the Vedaranyam Adinam, which you will be seeing in the next slides.
Can move on to the next slide. And the next slide, please. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam at the age of 37. Next slide.
And in that same year, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Adi Pita Gulada Mat, the most ancient mat in Karnataka, dating back over 6,000 years.
Next slide. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elected as the Supreme Pontiff by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu pontiffs, the Hindu leaders, just at the age of 36.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world, read and watched by over 1 billion followers in Hinduism.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the world's greatest digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views. And here you can see a screenshot from the website nithyanandapedia.org, where you can go ahead and see millions of, hundreds of thousands actually, of pictures and thousands of videos, and day by day in the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. It's a very, very, very engaging website, and we invite each and every one of you to go ahead and take a look at nithyanandapedia.org if you would like to know more about the life, mission, teachings, and contribution of the Supreme Pontiff.
And over the last 27 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed immense humanitarian services and initiatives in nearly every field, whether free vegetarian food banks, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution, peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices. In every field, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has continuously been contributing through various international agencies and bodies.
And here you can see the global initiatives and the pictures of various different publications of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, Sanskrit, translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles.
Here you can just see a few more that are all freely available online for anyone to read, download, and enjoy.
Over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books.
Over 10,000 hours of discourses and over 1 billion views on social media. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is actually one of the most watched Hindu spiritual gurus on the internet. And many of the disciples, actually hundreds of thousands of disciples, first get introduced to the Supreme Pontiff via YouTube or Facebook. as Kailasa has a very large presence on social media.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is also respected as the foremost commentator of all the sacred scriptures, such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, the Jain Sutras, and many more. And all of these commentaries are freely available on YouTube. So you can go ahead and subscribe as a member of the Kailasa'S HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel and continuously learn more about the teachings of Hinduism directly from the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself.
Honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader.
Yes, and the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has actually been most recently recognized by the California State Senate, the U.S. Senate, and many congressmen across the U.S. who recognize the Supreme Concept of Hinduism's contributions to humanity over the last 27 years. And many leaders across the globe have recognized Swamiji's contributions.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism was also recognized by the California State Senate and the US State Senate as the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, as the Supreme Pontiff and as the sovereign of the greatest and the only Hindu nation, Kailasa. The next slide.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the reviver of the sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Nithyananda order of monks, nuns. The Hindu diaspora are working for the global peace and to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the establisher of the largest university in the world, with satellite campuses in 150 countries and over 6,000 courses freely available for anyone to enjoy, learn, and experience the teachings of Hinduism.
And if you are curious and if you want to enroll for any of the courses, all you need to do is become an e-passport holder of Kailasa, and you are availed more than 6,000 courses freely available to any of the e-passport holder of Kailasa. So all you need to do is visit kailasa.org and sign up yourself for a free e-passport. And here you have 6,000 free courses of the largest online Hindu university, Nithyananda University.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems, which span across 6 continents and many countries across the globe.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvajna Peetams.
So now that we've understood just a small portion of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's immense contributions to humanity over the last 27 years, let us now understand a little bit more about Karthigai Deepam and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues to enlighten us with more and more in-depth sacred secrets about the significance of the Karthigai Deepam.
So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as we are all blessed today to witness his darshan, the very incarnation of Paramashiva himself, joining us live today to bless us all with the experience of Paramashivoham. Today is the day when Paramashiva appeared as a light beam, a light shaft, a consciousness, and gave darshan and blessed them with the enlightenment experience to both Bhagavan Brahma and Bhagavan Vishnu. Now, what behind this event and Brahma, the creator? He represents the highest intellectual possibility. Vishnu, the sustainer, the God who is responsible for sustenance, he represents the highest infrastructural possibility. The matter has 2 parts. One is the mind, the other is the physical matter itself. The highest possibility is the mind. represented by the creator Brahma, and the highest possibility in the physical realm is Bhagavan Vishnu, represented by Bhagavan Vishnu. Now, both of them thought that they are the ultimate. In the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff says, usually it happens. When you read something extraordinary in one field, you just feel that you are the highest. So Paramashiva has to come and let them know that no, there is something more. And Paramashiva appears, gives darshan on this very day and blesses them with the ultimate enlightenment experience, the experience of Paramashivoham.
And this is actually a very powerful truth. Whatever was created, all of it has to go back, merge back into the ultimate Shiva, Paramashiva. And all the lamps are lighted. All the lamps that are lighted during Deepavali Deepam is Prakriti or Devi Parashakti. And in the evening, all the lamps merge with the main lamp, the Purusha, Paramashiva himself. And the Prakriti merges back into Purusha on this day. So on the 21st of November, 2010, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism ended this discourse, he blessed the audience with a powerful boon. Let all of you become Prakriti, merging into Purusha, Paramashiva. And in his own half, Paramashiva made Devi as Ardhangini, and Devi Parashakti celebrates the Sayujamukti with Paramashiva on this day. Paramashiva gave his half to Devi and became Ardhanarishvara.
So now let's understand the significance of the Karthigai Deepam. This is the most auspicious day because on this day, the Big Bang started. The timeless cosmic Paramashiva created time, assumed the form, means the consciousness, which is the ultimate consciousness, which we call as Paramashiva, which is beyond time and space, enters into the dimension of time and space. So today was the first day when Paramashiva gave his darshan in the form of a Jyotistamba, in the form of a Lingodbhava to the whole cosmos, to the whole universe. So Paramashiva declares, let me become many to celebrate myself. So Paramashiva appears as a huge column of light, unending column of light, Jyotistamba, and gives darshan to Brahma and Vishnu today.
So let us understand a little bit more about the significance of the Karthigai Deepam and the significance of the cosmic happening of Brahma and Vishnu and the experience of Paramashivoham that Paramashiva gave on this very day of Karthigai Deepam. Yes. So let's actually listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explaining the significance of this day, this divine Leela that happened on this day, where Paramashiva appeared as the Jyotistamba, the infinite shaft of light, and gave darshan to Brahma and Vishnu. Let's listen to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself explaining the significance and story behind Karthigai Deepam.
Let's now watch this video.
Listen, actually, today is the best day. Sadashiva appears for Brahma and Vishnu early morning in the form of light shaft, means the consciousness which is beyond time and space enters into time and space. One becomes many. That is what today morning you saw. Now all that lamps will be brought back and many becomes one again in the evening. See, the whole Hindu cosmology is explained in this today's celebration. Sadashiva declares, let me become many to celebrate myself. So morning, we celebrate he becoming many. You can see every deity, every god, we go on light the lamp, means the main lamp is bioenergy is invoked, his presence is invoked. From there, each expression is Sadashiva. That is why 5 lamps, to show his 5 face. One for the Lingam, one for Nithyanandeshwara. In Agama, everyone is separate. Only in Vedanta, one. When you take care, see, all of us are one, but dosas need to be separate. All of us are one in the inner space, no doubt, but dosas need to be separate. The carrying. So, each, that Sadashiva himself becomes many. So, whole campus we went round, and it was such high energy. You know, it was, see, all this may look very simple, but they all have a profound significance. Especially today, in that light, literally you had the darshan of Sadashiva. Sadashiva is there in that fire. So ritualistically, it has to be maintained till it reaches the temple back, and till the evening lamp is lit with that fire only. And evening, we will have the celebration. All the lamps will be brought back. That is the sound you are hearing. They are going to each shrine and do the puja and bring all the lamps back. So again the many becomes one. And Devi is given darshan. Devi is accepted in the half. Actually, morning Brahma and Vishnu were blessed and asked to make the one into many. Evening, even Devi became one. The whole thing becomes one. You will see you will also have the darshan of Ardhanarishwara evening. Means the Sadashiva in the form of Shiva and Devi. You will have darshan in the evening. Not only spiritually, even socially, this celebration forms a very important part of my life. Because this is the only celebration I enjoyed from my birth, at least in this body. The whole Arunachala will be vibrating. Usually, every year I go to Arunachala for this. It's around 20 hours celebration. Early morning to tomorrow morning, Sadashiva himself will go around the hill. So with that, the ritual concludes. Tonight, after the Deepam, Sadashiva's deity will be brought. He will go around the whole hill with all the paraphernalia which you guys are seeing now here, with all that fun and paraphernalia. He will go around the whole hill. Around 30 lakh people will walk all around the hill. It's called Naramalai, means garland of human beings will be put for that hill. And he will be garlanded. The whole hill will be garlanded. Today in 3 items: flower, lemon, and another one fruit like an apple or orange. Whole hill, the garland will be long at least 15 kilometers. 15 kilometer long, single garland made out of flowers, one garland made out of lemon, one garland made out of any seasonal fruit like apple or orange. It will be offered to the whole hill. One old man has made a trust. Some 100 crore wealth, he left it for the trust just to garland Sadashiva on this one day. He made a will. This whole money goes to only for garlanding every year Sadashiva in the form of the hill. He had darshan of Sadashiva in the form of the hill. And after that, he wrote, and every year they very sincerely do it. Matter. element through which energy can be spread into everything. See, fire is the bridge. If you put earth element, water element both into fire, you will convert that into air element and space element. Is the bridge. These two have form, this two does not have form. This is formless form. Air and space does not have form. Earth and water has form. Fire is formless form.
The Supreme Court of Hinduism explained the significance. And just at 4 a.m. today, we will be watching live from the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya in Adi Kailasa'S Pita, the Bharani Deepam. Actually, the Purvanga Puja starts at 3 o'clock, and the Bharani Deepam, the lighting of the Bharani Deepam, infusing of the bioenergy of Paramashiva himself into the lamp, that the rituals start at 4 o'clock. And the first lamp will be lit. From the first lamp, multiple other lamps will be lit, and all over the monastery, the sannyasis and the brahmacharis will be traveling to keep this lamp in front of every deity in the monastery. We have hundreds of deities, so in front of every deity, a basket will be kept with lamps. And in the evening, we start collecting, and at 6 o'clock, sharp at 6 o'clock, once the lamp is lit on top of the sacred Arunachala hill, the Karthigai Deepam, we also merge all of these small lamps into one main lamp. And today we'll be having the blessed presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for both the Bharani Deepam and the evening Karthigai Deepam celebration. So this is something not to be missed. And if you're watching us live, do take a moment to share this live stream with your friends and family and invite them to come and join Kailasa, the greatest and the only Hindu nation, for the live Karthigai Deepam celebrations. We can just go back to the previous slide. So we'll just share with you the actual story, what really happened, and what is the spiritual significance of the Karthigai Deepam. So the creator, Lord Brahma, who represents the peak possibility in the intellectual dimension, and Vishnu, who represents the peak possibility in the infrastructural dimension, both feel that they have achieved the ultimate possibility, and they feel they have achieved the highest possibility and become greatest. And Paramashiva gives them the ultimate experience, gives them the darshan today in the form of a huge shaft of light, and blesses them with the Shivoham experience. So what actually happens? So when Brahma and Vishnu are conversing and they feel that they have achieved the highest possibility, and Paramashiva appears as a light shaft, we can move to the next slide. When Paramashiva appears as a light shaft, Paramashiva gives a message to both of them. Whoever finds the top or the bottom of this huge column of light, they will be declared as the greater of the two. So Brahma travels up and Bhagavan Vishnu goes down. And Bhagavan Vishnu keeps traveling, and at one point realizes that he is not able to find the end of the huge column of light. So he comes back and he admits that he is not able to find. And Brahma, on the other hand, keeps traveling, and he sees a flower falling from down. So Brahma asks the flower, "Where are you coming from?" He says, "I'm coming from the ears of Paramashiva." And Brahma asks, "For how long are you falling down?" He says, "I am falling down for 4 Brahma's ages. I am falling down." So Brahma is thinking, when he is only falling from the ear, and that also he is falling for 4 of my age. So there is no way I can go and I can reach. But because he is the intellect, represents the peak in the intellect dimension, the mind, he thinks, okay, let me go and tell Paramashiva that here is the flower as a witness. So he asks the flower, "Will you be a witness saying that, okay, I got you from the ear of Paramashiva?" The flower also thinks, okay, what is there? Anyway, I'm going down. I might as well be useful to Brahma. So he also accepts. So Brahma and the flower, they go to Paramashiva, and he says, "I saw the top of you. Here is the flower as the witness." Of course, Paramashiva, the ultimate super consciousness, he opens his third eye. He knows the truth. And then Brahma surrenders his ego, and Bhagavan, Paramashiva, appears as Kala Bhairava to remove remove the fifth head, which represents the ego of Brahma, removes the fifth head of Brahma and blesses Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu with the Paramashivoham experience, which happens on the Shivratri day. So the Karthigai Deepam, today is the day when Paramashiva appears as a light shaft, and Shivratri, which comes around the month of February or March, that is the time when Paramashiva blesses Lord Brahma and Vishnu with the Paramashivoham experience. Can move on to the next slide. So I've just given, in the interest of time, I've just given a gist of what we are presenting in the slides, just so that we understand the history of this specific thing. Can move on to the next slide, Ma. The next slide.
We can continue on.
The next slide. Yeah.
We can continue on. This is the story that Manya Swami just narrated, the full form of this story. So you can, this satsang is also available online, so you can also watch the full satsang and learn more about that. Yes, we can continue on. So this is also another very significant day, the Karthigai Deepam. We can go back to the previous slide, please. Yes. So this is also a significant day, Karthigai Deepam, not just because Brahma and Vishnu were given the Paramashivoham experience by Bhagavan Paramashiva, but this is also the day that Devi has, after doing intense penance and panchatapas, is blessed by Paramashiva with the experience of enlightenment as well, and experiences herself as Ardhanini to Ardhanarishvara Paramashiva himself. And in the evening of the Karthigai Deepam, when the sun sets and the moon rises, Paramashiva appears as the light, the pure consciousness, and gives the half to Devi. And Devi realizes her masculine, and she becomes Ardhanarishvara, and this means becomes a part of Paramashiva. And if you are in the male body, if you realize your feminine part, you are enlightened. If you are in the female body, if you realize your masculine part, you are enlightened. If you realize the other part, you are liberated, enlightened. You experience the same thing that Devi experienced.
Now, until now, we have learned about the spiritual significance of this festival, and we have a few more minutes before we hand over the live stream to the temple to watch the Purvanga Puja of the Bharani Deepam celebrations. And before that, we would like to share with you about how this grand happening is also scientifically proven.
So the Karthigai Deepam is considered the oldest festival in Hinduism. This is actually when Paramashiva appeared as the infinite shaft of light, is actually the happening of the Big Bang, the creation of the entire universe itself. And the one more surprising thing is that the oldest constellation the Vedic calendar is able to predict is the happening of the Karthigai Deepam, and the Vedic calendar predicts the time, date, calendar about the past, future, and everything. And the Karthigai Deepam is the star setup, the oldest Vedic calendars are able to predict. So this is the very happening of this entire cosmos, this entire universe itself. And beyond the Karthigai Deepam, the concept of time actually does not exist. And the formula about time which we have in the Vedic system is able to predict. And the last day of the constellation that the Vedic calendar is able to predict is the Karthigai Deepam celebration.
So today, as per the Vedic astrology, today is the first day. The Karthigai Deepam day is when the Vedic astrology, the Vedic calendar actually begins. Before this day, we are not actually able to go back and trace. So today, as we can say, the first day of the Vedic calendar, which also, very beautifully coincides with the Purana, where it says the Paramashivoham, first time manifested as a Jyotis in the formless form, entering into the dimension of space and time only today. And beautifully in the Vedic astrology also, the earliest date that we are able to trace back is the date of Karthigai Deepam. Next slide. So in the next slide, we have a beautiful video to share with all of you on how the Karthigai Deepam celebration was celebrated in Kailasa. And today we are celebrating Karthigai Deepam in multiple Kailasa'S around the world. So let's take a quick look at how this event was celebrated a couple of years back. Go ahead and play the video.
ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬಂದೆಯ
There is a beautiful glimpse of the Karthigai Deepam celebration celebrated in Adi Kailasa'S in the year 2017, where we were all celebrating with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the main Karthigai Deepam festival happens in Tiruvannamalai, the very birthplace, the place which birthed the avatar and which nurtured the avatar. So let us see how the Karthigai Deepam celebrations are celebrated in Tiruvannamalai. Over the last 1,000 years, more than actually 1,000 years, the Karthigai Deepam celebrations are being celebrated. This is probably the recorded history. However, since the time column of light where Paramashiva appeared as a Jyotistambha, settled down as the Arunachala hill. That is why the very hill is worshipped as Paramashiva. So the linga, the main deity in the temple is represented because to the hill itself the Abhishek.
I think Manyatma Swami is having a technical glitch. So as Manyatma Swami was saying, that the Arunachala hill is actually worshipped as Paramashiva himself, and this is one form of Paramashiva that is still worshipped, as Swamiji explained, that on this day that a garland is tied around the entire hill over 15 kilometers, and 5 million people gather before climbing the Arunachala hill to light the Deepam, the lamp, and devotees will prostrate in front of the hill and go around and apologize to Paramashiva for climbing by putting their foot on the hill. So this is a very grand celebration that happens in Tiruvannamalai. Yeah, and
we have many more to we have many more to share with all of you on this auspicious day, and we'll be continuing to share about the significance of today's festival in the evening. So please do join us at 4 p.m. Today evening, as we will be continuing to share the significance of the Karthigai Deepam festivities. And now we are now going to be watching the Purvanga Puja. We are now going to be watching the Purvanga Puja that's going to be happening at Adi Kailasa'S in Bidadi, Bengaluru. And so we'll be transitioning now to watch the rituals in the temple. And
yes,
and following the rituals, we will be having the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at 4 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So please do stay tuned and do go ahead and share this live stream with as many people as possible as we prepare ourselves to receive this live darshan.
Yes, and you can just take a few minutes now to also join as a member of Kailasa'S HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam YouTube channel. Make sure that you are constantly staying connected, constantly staying up to date about the happenings of Kailasa, and do stay tuned for the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. As Nyanathma Swami just said, we will be having shortly the rituals in the temple, and will be graced and blessed with the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So we'll be right back after a short break, and we'll be going to the temple for the beautiful Bharani Deepam celebrations first in the morning, and then in the evening we will be having the Karthigai Deepam celebrations.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasa'S.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. Nithyananda. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम उपस्पृश्य ओम ततः अस्त्रेण संप्रोक्ष्य नमो गां गणपतिमूर्तये नमः एकदन्तं शोर्पकर्णं गजवक्त्रं महोदरं पाशाङ्कुशं दिग्बन्धनं अवकुण्ठन तालत्रय धेनु समर्पयामि स्नानानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि वस्त्रयज्ञोपवीत उत्तरीयाभरणार्थमक्षतानि समर्पयामि गन्धान् धारयामि गन्धस्योपरि हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमचूर्णं समर्पयामि पुष्पाणि पूजयामि ओम गं भवस्य देवसुता नमः ओम गं शरस्य देवसुता नमः ओम गं ईशानस्य देवसुता नमः ओम गं पशुपतेर्देवसुता नमः ओम गं उग्रस्य देवसुता नमः ओम गं रुद्रस्य देवसुता नमः ओम गं भीमस्य देवसुता नमः ओम गं महतोर्देवसुता नमः ओम गं सिद्धिविनायक स्वामिने नमो नमः नानाविधपरिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि ॐ ॐ गं गणपतये नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ गं गणपतये नमः दीपं दर्शयामि ॐ गं गणपतये नमः अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि पूगीफलसमायुक्तं नागवल्लीतलेर्तं कर्पूरचूर्णसंयुक्तं ताम्बूलं प्रतिगृह्यतां ताम्बूलार्थमक्षतानि समर्पयामि ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् ॐ गं गणपतये नमः कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि ॐ यो पां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पान् प्रदावान् पुष्पान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पान् प्रदावान् पुष्पान् भवति एवं वेद यो पामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वेदोक्तमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि मूलमन्त्रपथाशक्ति जप्त्वा जपं समर्प्य गुख्याति गुह्यगोप्ता त्वं गृहाणास्मकृतं जपं सिद्धिर्भवतु मे देव तत्प्रसादात् गणाधिप ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ अविघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
ॐ हृत्पद्ममासनं दद्यात् सहस्रारच्युतामृतैः पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात् मनस्तु अर्घ्यं निवेदयेत् तेनामृतेनाचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम् आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्यात् गन्धः स्यात् गन्धतत्त्वकं चित्तं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत् तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं स्यात् सुधामृतिः अनाहतध्वनिर्घण्टा वायुतत्त्वं च चामरं सहस्रारं भवेत् छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकं नित्यमिन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनसस्तदा स्मेकलां पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तदा अमायाद्यैर्भावपुष्पैः अर्चयेद्भावगोचरम् अमायम् अनहङ्कारम् अरागम् अमथं तदा अमोघम् अदम्बं च अद्वेषक्षोभकौ तदा अमात्सर्यम् अलोभं च दशपुष्पं विदुर्वदाः अहिंसा परमं पुष्पं पुष्पमिन्द्रियनिग्रहः दया पुष्पं क्षमा पुष्पं ज्ञानपुष्पं च पञ्चमम् इति पञ्चदशैर्भावपुष्पैः सम्पूजयेत् भगवन्तं श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवम् ह्रीमेतत्पाद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनं ह्रीमे सर्गः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनं ह्रीमिन्दमाचमनीं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ह्रीमिन्दं स्नानीयं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमिदं वस्त्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमे शुद्गन्धः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः चतुर्नमस्कं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनं ह्रीमिदं चतुर्नमलोत्रं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमेषद्धूपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमेषद्दीपः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमिदं शौवर्णनैवेद्यं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमिदं पानार्थोदकं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः ॐ ह्रीमिदं पूर्णाचमनीं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपागते शिन्त्यान्वं शयनमः राजाय नमो वै श्रवणाय गुरुमहे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो धातु कुबेराय श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं जिगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि रात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवती नित्यानन्दवर्गेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पाञ्जलिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्तकर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथश्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरुश्रीजगद्गुरु ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुराप्नेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि। सर्वज्ञोपशान्तये
समस्त दुरितक्षय द्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम नित्यानंद श्री पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायामस्यां शुभ पुण्यतिथो श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिवस्य कृतिका महोत्सवे ब्रह्मोत्सव कर्मणि भरणी दीपाख्य कर्म करिष्ये अपौपस्पृश्य ओम नमो व्रातपते नमो गणपते नमः प्रपतपते नमस्ते सुलंबोदराय एकदंताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवताय श्रीव्रतमूर्ते नमः। आवाहयतु श्री सुमुखं विघ्नेश्वर यथास्थानं प्रतिष्ठापयामि शोभनार्थे क्षेमाय पुनरागमनाय च सकलाराधने यथास्थानं प्रतिष्ठापयामि। ओम अनंताय नमः धर्मकर्ताय नमः ज्ञाननालाय नमः वैराग्यकेसरमः ईश्वरी कर्णिकाय नमः पद्माय नमः पद्मस्य प्रीवं वर्णासनं वर्णमूर्तये नमः। नागवासधर्मष्टं रत्नोघत् ज्योतिविग्रहं श्राङ्गधवलं ध्यायेद् वर्णमकरासनम् ओम वरुणाय विद्याधिहाय नमः। वर्णनेत्राभ्यां ओम वरुणाय नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आवाहनस्थापन सन्निधान सन्निरोधन दिग्बन्धनापकुण्ठन तालत्रयधेनो मकर नमस्कार मुद्रा प्रदर्श्य ओम दशांगम गुग्गुलोपेतं सुगन्धं सुमनोहरम् आघ्रे सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिष्ठिताम् ओम वरुणाय नमः। धूपमाघ्रापयामि ओम साज्यं त्रिवृत्ति संयुक्तं वह्निना योजितं मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलं दीपं त्रैलोक्यतिपरापहम् ओम वरुणाय नमः। दीपं दर्शयामि ओम अमृते अमृतोद्भव अमृतवृषिणी अमृतं श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा ओम वरुणाय नमः। अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरं समर्पयामि। पूगीफलसमायुक्तं नागवल्लीदलेर्तं कर्पूरचूर्णसंयुक्तं ताम्बूलं प्रतिष्ठां ताम्बूलार्थमक्षतां समर्पयामि। ओम जम्भकाय विद्महे पाशहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो वरुणः प्रचोदयात्। ओम वरुणाय नमः। मङ्गलनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि। ओम वरुणाय नमः। पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि। मूलं धर्मदाशक्ति जप्त्वा ओम गुख्याति ओम अस्मिन्ने पुण्यवचनपकर्मणि सर्वेभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः भौद्रन्यतः पुण्यमुन्यहं वादयिष्ये ओम वाचिदामोमापः शिवावसन्तों गन्धाः सुगन्धाः पान्तों समर्थः सौमनसमस्तो मक्षतमक्षतञ्चारिष्टहं चास्तु ओमन्वाहार्यः सौमन्वाहार्योऽस्तु ओम दक्षिणाः स्वस्ति दक्षिणाः पान्तु बहुदेयम् अस्तु ओम इडादे बहुर्मनोर्यज्ञनि बृहस्पतिरुक्तामथाने सगुंसषे द्विषे देवासु उक्तवाच पृथ्वीमातर्मा माहिकुं सेरम् मधुमनिष्ये मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुमतिष्यामि मधुमतीं देवेभ्यो वाचं द्यासकं सुश्रुतेन्या आमनुष्ये एभ्यस्तमा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरो नमदन्तो मनस्समाधियतां समाहितमनः स्मः प्रसीदन्तु भवन्तः प्रसन्नाः स्मः शान्तिः अस्तु तुष्टिः अस्तु पुष्टिः अस्तु अविघ्नम् अस्तु आयुषम् अस्तु आरोग्यम् अस्तु अचलमैश्वर्यम् अस्तु धनधान्यसमृद्धिः अस्तु गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभं भवतु ऐशान्य बहिर्देशे अरिष्ट निरसनम् अस्तु आग्नेयं यत्पापं तत्त्वरतीर्थम् अस्तु सर्वाः सम्पदः सन्तु सर्वशोभनं भवतु पुण्याः कालो वाचितां पुण्याहं भवन्तो भ्रुवन्तु ओं पुण्याहं स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धशरवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षरष्टेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु स्वस्तिं भवन्तो भ्रुवन्तु ओं स्वस्तिः ऋद्ध्यास्महव्येरमसोपसद्य मित्रं देवं मित्रधेयं नोऽस्तु अनुराधानः विशावर्तयन्तः शतं जीवेम शरदस्य वीराः रिद्धिं भवन्तो भ्रमन्तो कर्म रिद्धिदां रिद्धिसमृद्धिः अस्तु पुण्याः समृद्धिः अस्तु शुभं कर्म अस्तु महादेवः प्रियतां प्रियतां भगवान् महादेवः ॐ हिरण्यवर्णाशितयः पावकायासु जातकशिपो यास्विन्द्रः अग्निया गर्भन्धदिरे रूपासन आपश्यक सोना भवन्तो या सागुम्राजा वर्णो याति मध्ये सत्यान्तते अपशञ्जनानां मधुश्च च योजा पावकासन आपश्यक सोना भवन्तो शिवेन मा चक्षुषा पश्यतापश्यव्यादनोपस्पृशतत्वचं मे सर्वागुम अग्निगुमरप्सुषो हुए वोम इवर्चोबलमोजो निदत्ता पवमानसुवर्जनः पवित्रेण विचर्षणिः यः ओतासुपनात्मा पुनन्तमा देवतनाः पुनन्तं नमो धिया पुनन्त विश्व आजवः जातवेदः पवित्रपते पवित्रेण वनाहिमा शुकेन देवतीयत अग्नेकृत्वाकृतो गुम्रण यत्ते पवित्रमतिषि अग्ने विततमन्द्रा ब्रह्मतेन मुनीमहे उभाभ्यां देवसवितः पवित्रेण समेन च इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे वैश्वदेवी पुरती देव्यागाते यस्य वह्विसन्वो बीतपृष्ठाः तया मदन्तस्सधमान्तेषु यज्ञस्यामपतयोरजीना वैश्वानरो रश्मिभिर्माप्रातो मातः प्राणेन शिरोमजो भूः जावा पृथिवी वयसापयोभिः कृतावरी यज्ञेमापनीतां बृहद्भिः सवितस्त्रिभिः वर्षिक्षैते मन्मभिः अग्नेदक्षे इफ्राहिमा येन देवा पुरत येनापो दिव्यंशः तेन दिव्येन ब्रह्मणा इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे वैश्वदेवी वरती देव्यागाते यस्य बह्वी सन्वा वीतपृष्ठाः तया मदन्तस्सधमादेषु वैगस्यामपतयोरयिना वैश्वानरो रश्मिभिर्मापनातो मातः प्राणेन शिरोमजो भूः जावा पृथिवी पयसापयोभिः कृतावरी यज्ञेमापनीतां बृहद्भिः सवितस्त्रिभिः वर्षिक्षैर्देवमन्मभिः अग्नेदक्षे इफ्राहिमा येन देवा पुनत येनापो दिव्यङ्कषः तेन दिव्येन ब्रह्मणा इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे यः पामानि रथेति ऋषिभिः सम्भृतम् सर्वं सभूतमश्नाति सुदितं मातरीश्वरा पामानीर्यो अध्येति ऋषिभिः सम्भृतमृतं तस्मै सरस्वती दुहे क्षीरकं सर्पिर्मधूतकं पामानि ससेनीः सुदुघाहि पयस्वतीः ऋषिभिः सम्भृतो रसः ब्राह्मणेषु मृतकं हितं पावमानीर्तिशन्तु नः इमं लोकमथो अमुं कामान् समर्दयन्तु नः देवी देवैः समाभृताः पावानी ससेनीः सुदुघाहि कृतश्रुतः ऋषिभिः सम्भृतो रसः ब्राह्मणेषु मृतकं हितं येन देवा पवित्रेण आत्मानं पुरते सदा तेन सहस्रधारेण पावमान्यः पुरन्दमा प्राजापत्यं पवित्रं शुद्धोद्यामुखं हिरण्यं तेन ब्रह्मविदोऽयं पूतं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे इन्द्रस्वनीते समापनातो सोमशुचापनसमीचा यमो राजा अपनाभिपनात्मा तद्वेदा मूर्जन्त्यापनातो भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्संयोरावणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तुनः सत्यर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं षण्णो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे सकलतीर्थादिव्यं ब्रह्मथा सर्वतिष्ठापयामि शोभनार्थे क्षेमाय पुनरागमनाय सकलाराजसुरक्षितम् ओं वरुणाय स्वाहा पराङ्गुहार्घ्यं दत्त्वा जलं सर्वत्र सम्प्रोक्ष्य अपवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थाङ्गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत्सां भमीशानं सवाख्याभ्यन्तरशुचिः पूर्वमहं शिवास्रान् मोमाम् अघोरास्रान् मोमाम् पाशुदास्रान् मोहां प्रतिङ्ग्रास्रान् मोहां व्योमास्राय नमः कूर्मशिलासीनां क्षीरोदस्थिविग्रहां मौलौबीजाङ्कुराकारां व्रताम् अभयप्रदाम् अशां कुशधरां शक्तिं क्रियाम् आदररूपिणीम् ओम हम आदरशक्तिर्मः ओम हम अनन्तेशासनान् अनन्तेशमूर्तये नमः ओम हम अनन्तेशाय नमः ओम हम अनन्ताय नमः वासुदेवाय नमः तक्षकाय नमः कारकोटकाय नमः पद्माय नमः महापुत्माय नमः शङ्खपालाय नमः मंगुलिकाय नमः ओम हम अनन्ताद्यष्टनागेभ्यो नमः ओम हम अनन्तेशासनं संपूज्य ओम हम अनन्तासनाय नमः संपूज्य ओम हम धर्माय नमः ज्ञानाय नमः वैराग्याय नमः ऐश्वर्याय नमः अधर्माय नमः अज्ञानाय नमः अवैराग्याय नमः अनीश्वर्याय नमः राम राजसाय नमः ओम हम तामसाय नमः ओम हम सात्विकाय नमः ओम हम सिंहासनाय संपूज्य ओम हम कृतयुगाय नमः ओम हम त्रेतायुगाय नमः ओम हम द्वापरयुगाय नमः ओम हम कलियुगाय नमः ओम हम अव्यक्ताय नमः ओम नियतये नमः ओम कालाय नमः ओम कलायै नमः तन्मध्यपदे ओम हम केशवाय नमः अधच्छदने ओम हम अधच्छदनाय नमः ऊर्ध्वच्छदने ओम हम ऊर्ध्वच्छदनाय नमः ओम हम योगासनाय संपूज्य ओम हम कंदाय ओम हम बीजाय ओम हम अंकुराय ओम हम नालाय ओम हम कंडकेभ्यो नमः मुकुलाय ओम हम दलेभ्यो नमः केसरेभ्यो नमः ओम तप्तजामीकराभासां पञ्चाशद्बीजगर्भितां केसराणां दुष्यष्टाकर्णिकां पूजय ततः ओम हम कर्णिकाय नमः ओम हम बीजेभ्यो नमः ओम हम वामाय नमः ओम वरप्रदेशाङ्गगवामहस्ता सव्यद्विहस्ता भयसामराश्च रक्ता जटा जुटशाङ्खरे काविभूषणैर्भूषित विश्वगात्रः ओम हम वामाय नमः ज्येष्ठाय नमः रौद्रे नमः काले नमः कालविकरण्ये नमः बलविकरण्ये नमः बलपूर्णे सर्वभूतमन्ये नमः मनोन्मन्ये नमः ओम हम पद्मासनाय नमः संपूज्य